What's up, everybody? It's itinerant Todd, whatever. So yeah, I'm calling this 30 minutes. 30 minutes for 30 days. Oh my gosh, suddenly forgot his name. He does. Lots of people have these challenges. So Rocky's got 100 days. Trying to do 30 minutes for 100 days. He's doing pretty good at it. I can't remember what his not record, but he went a very long time. I think he went over 100 days first time. But he's done really well. Oh man, I cannot remember the guy's name. There's a guy that does with his daughter, Evie, I think her name is. I remember her name, but not his. Now she's the one that matters in that channel anyway. Just kidding. Anyway, he's doing 30 minutes, 30 a day, and I think he's doing paying some of his role-playing minis and all that. So, I've got all these things, and I've started posting like day 3 of 30 or whatever, but I'm not really able to do it usually in many days in a row, so I should probably cheat and film some ahead of time. But anyway, I'm just so I'm trying to do just 30 minutes because I want to. I mean, it'd be great, sit down for 2 hours, but I figure if I just do 30 minutes a day and make a little bit of progress, I'll make progress. So here's how I'm going to start my day. I need to I was going to paint, and now I wonder I could. So I've got my guys based here, my 10 mil. These are 10 mil Pendraken. Hey, whoever's watching, chat on here and let me know who's watching. I'm gonna have a feeling it's Al Red Sox, because that guy just finished a video. Al does sports stuff, even if it's not him, it's fine. Al needs a shout out. So I based my guys. I'm basing them for Blitzkrieg Commander, but I could also use them for something else. So let me give you a little update what I'm doing. Man, I have been bouncing all over the place. These all here are, whoa, doesn't work when you put your hand in front of it there, bro. That's right, I'm a professional. All those guys back there, that's all Brits as well. Maybe I should use Pendraken's real stands and really put like 4 per base, but I didn't, because that's not how I work. Anyway, so I think I can get these done in about 30 minutes, but I've got the smocks, the hats, painted, helmets. But what I think I'm going to do now before I get the pants is I'm going to probably put this pumice down. Because that way I can get it laid down before I mess up getting. So if I get something on their pants or shirt, I can clean it off. And I won't have paint, because if I paint it and then get it on there, then I get all upset and bothered. I wouldn't want that to happen. You don't want to see me angry. So now what I'm doing is I am looking for my metal tools, and I put that stuff on with. So this is good though. I wanted you guys to see what. So I spent 28 of my minutes looking for stuff I need. So what's weird is it should all be right here. This is very strange. Okay, now this is some top-notch, high-quality, professional video. Huh. Okay, well maybe I won't do the pumice tonight. So, I did a funny thing. I found a lot and a lot of Flames of War books. Version 3 rule book, and then version 2 and 3 like source books. You may be asking yourself, Todd, I didn't know you played that game. And I would answer, I don't. But based on how my whole vibe has gone with bolt action, really liking bolt action, really liking Blitzkrieg Commander, I'm like, I know a guy, anyway, I have a type. I know a guy that plays these really heavy, dense board games, war games. I mean, they are just 80-page, 90-page rule books, counters with just hundreds and hundreds of thousands of counters with just tons of data on each counter. And I said, and he just got into a new series called Goss, No, not Goss. Death Ride. He's into Goss. Getting into Death Ride. Look it up. Death Ride Kursk. It's crazy. Anyway, I said, you certainly have a type. And he laughed at that because he does. And I certainly have a type, especially with miniature games. I like him. This sounds bad, but I like him easy, you know? I like him straightforward, where I can change rules here and there and expand them. And seriously, where are those tools? This is very strange. I'm going to have to get like a screwdriver or something. I usually have it all right here. It's embarrassing. I'm embarrassing myself on live YouTube. Wow, weird. All right, well, I guess I'll just use this X-Acto. That's going to be strange, but I'll try and see what happens here. Anyway, it's going to have the precision of an X-Acto knife. And I already got it on the boots. But the cool thing is I can scrape it off. What was I talking about? I like simple rules. And I thought, you know what, maybe Flames of War, because look, it's not a war game. It is a World War II themed game, kind of like Bolt Action. It's certainly not known for its, historic, whatever. So the question is then, but if it follows some of the similar tactics, this is going to take me forever. I struggle with basing. You know what I think? Anyway, so I have a type, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to try it. Never thought I would play it. And I thought, there's guys, so there's Mark Landymore, who has House of Hingis comics, and he's now kind of created his own rule set, but it's kind of based around Flames of War. That's what he started on. He really likes version 2. He didn't like version 3. And you get like that for all those game systems. People like certain ones, and I don't really know why he likes one over the other, but it doesn't really matter at this point. But he plays historic battles. And I can tell you what, with both Bolt Action, well, more Flames of War, it is really hard to find people who play historic scenarios with that rule set. Okay, I'm not going to be able to continue this. This is crazy. I think I know where they might be. I might have to leave the room for a second. I got to think of a different way of basing. This is just insane. So, this is a reason to use Flames of War bases. The kind with the holes in them. And with these guys, really, I could probably use the small base. So anyway, all right, so my point is I like simpler games, and I thought, well, maybe, it's a simpler game. And so I have a game for battalion level, or where each stand equals a platoon, and the standard game is a battalion versus a battalion, and that's Blitzkrieg Commander. I'm sold on that one. I like it a lot. For skirmish, I really like Bolt Action. Second would be Battle Group for that. And now we're coming to company level. I know Battle Group can do it, but I might consider, so I might test Battle Group and Flames of War and I Ain't Been Shot Mom for those size. And I played I Ain't Been Shot Mom a couple times, but anyway. This is the strangest thing. I cannot find those tools. That would make this job way easier. Anyway, so I want to try Flames of War. And I thought, you know what? I've never played it. So this is a base for weapons. Sorry for the pause there. So who's on? Ah, the OG. Should have guessed. I almost thought OG, but OG, I didn't think I saw you online. So I was like, oh, it was not him. So what's up, OG? So I thought I had a smaller base. So I'm just looking at, these are the Flames of War bases that I actually took my 15 mil Americans off of. So anyway, that's what I do. I'm a rules floater. I mean, that's what I do. That's fine. That's fine. I don't have a problem. So here is that base. Let's see if I can. So funny, the lighting. I want to build this little stand where I can just, so anyway, so there's my base. It's actually half that size. So I think I need a small Flames of War base. All right, so that's Flames of War. I wanted to try it out. Well, so then I saw this lot for sale, version 3 with some books, source books, and I thought, it's like $40. And I get a rule book, the hobby book, the forces book, and a bunch of source books. And I thought, why not? And I won the bid. I can't believe it. I usually don't win those bids. I usually get, sniped at the last second. I think I might have been the sniper this time. So that's interesting. I do wish I should have maybe gone on a hangout instead of this, because I wouldn't mind having someone to chat with on this. But I also want to record. Man, I'm really bummed that Hangouts is going away. And there just really isn't a good replacement for it. A real simple replacement from what I can tell. It seems like I'm going to have to get an OBS, which I don't remember what that stands for, but it kind of bums me out. Because here's the reason I like doing live videos like this. Editing would be great. It's because I don't want to edit and stuff. And that's not my channel. A lot of people do, and it's great. I think it gets you more viewers. I think it makes your videos better. But that's not really where I want to spend my time. I just like going live and hanging out, and literally hanging out, and chatting, and playing games live. Now, I don't mind doing short recordings of games, like little AARs, so like that. I guess I also don't really have a lot of computer space, memory, and processing power to make a nice, long, 30-minute, well-edited video. Now, you all deserve better, but there are so many good channels out there that do that sort of thing. So anyway, and I also like the whole aspect of being able to chat, kind of like what I do with it's an honor to be a part of Rocky's War Room. That's what we do, on Fridays, Saturdays, depends on what we're doing, but usually Saturdays now. And so he's having to decide, what are we doing? Are we going to record them? I mean, they're not going to be as popular, I don't think, they're recorded, just because people like getting on there and interacting with us, and our shenanigans. So this is really a pain in the butt. I am not going to get these stands done in 30 minutes. Bummer. Okay. So anyway, that's that. So that's why I'm trying Flames of War. I just want to try it out. Now, I did kind of go overboard with the buying the whole lot of things. The price wasn't terrible. If I can use them for other stuff, I've always liked. Here's what I do like those. I like that one in Bolt Action because they sell starter kits, and I love the concept of starter kits. Buy them all in one pack. I'm still tempted to buy the open fire set because it's 15 mil for Flames of War. The problem is I don't need Americans like that. Although if they are paras, I don't have any paras actually of Americans. But what I certainly don't need are Germans. But what I might do. All right, so that's that. So here's where I am, ladies and gentlemen. So I bought these 10 mil Pendrakens because I wanted to try it. Oh my gosh. All right, I almost want to show you guys something, guys and gals. Oh, you have two people on. Who's on? Bloody Bill. Hey, it's going great, man. I'm always online just about. Cry. Yeah, me too, OG. How's it going, Bloody Bill? Bloody Bill, I don't remember seeing you on my channel. So, just a reminder, I'm on here putting on my basing, putting on my pumice, my ground texture acrylic. On my Brit Perez 10 mil Pendraken. So anyway, I'm looking for these tools to put these metal tools, and I could not find them. Okay, so here's my workspace. I was looking over in that thing there. I got to quit covering the thing. I was looking over there, couldn't find it. It's right there. Now I can see why I couldn't see it. It's white, but it's right there. So that's embarrassing. So let me grab that. Block your screen a minute. Yeah, 16 minutes. Oh, we got 3 people watching. Who else is up? Oh, Dash of Alarm, man, what's up? Yeah, Pendraken is awesome. I was looking at 10 mil Pendraken, but with my Old Glory membership, I get my 15s at a great price. Hey, Bloody Bill, do you want to just like maybe hook me up? Just kidding. So Bloody Bill, let's have a little chat here, boys, since it's all boys here. Devin is not a miniature gamer, but Devin, you used to play Flames of War, right? But you wisely got out of it. I'm just mean because it's all the minis and stuff. I don't mean because it's a bad game or minis are bad. I just, anyway. Just real quick, everybody. Dash of Alon is playing Advanced Squad Leader Starter Kit, War of the Rats right now. So go check out his channel and see what's up. He gives you a little introduction, and he's not showing every dice roll, but he is doing a nice 30-minute synopsis of turn 1 and half of 2. So if you're interested in ASL Starter Kit, check it out over there. That is a fun system. I'm actually getting rid of all my ASL kit, but I am keeping the starter kit because I'm like, you know what? I'll get back into it, and there's some really good stuff. And what do I have? I think I've got 70 scenarios for that. And I just got the Pacific one, which honestly, Pacific is really not my thing. I have it for Lock and Load. And I just really don't enjoy it. But I'll try it again. I did like Pacific Combat Commander because they changed a couple of the rules, fixed a couple of things, I think. But other than that, I don't know. There's something about the close-in fighting and the bonsais and all that. I just can't really go for it. So anyway, but I did get that because I'm a completist in that regard. So I want to have everything. The only thing I'm missing for a starter kit are the rally point. This is going on so much faster. Can you guys even see me? No, you can't. Perfect. Again, high quality. Anything to help you guys out. Oh, Dash of Alon, we were talking about live streaming. I was talking about live streaming and Google Hangouts going away. And he did offer, Curtis did offer some solutions for that, and I just need to think through what I want to do. All right, so let's chat about, let's see what you guys have said here real quick. Appreciate you guys coming on, chatting with me. Shaking here because I have to click on my phone. OJ's deal is fantastic. 50. Oh yeah. Oh, Glory's. Yeah, not original Grognard, but OG's deal is fantastic. $50 a year. What is it? 30% discount. 40% discount. I've got over 2,000K of Germans sitting under my desk for Flames. So yeah, I used to play. 40%. I don't need to read these out loud to you. I just want to say, yeah, the discount is wonderful. I play Bolt Action and Chain of Command in 25 mil because of the great deal I get. Did you mean to say in 15 mil, Bloody Bill? And you said 25. Unless they have 25, and I don't know that, which is highly possible. I'm going to do something real quick here. Pardon me, everyone. I don't know if this will work. Orientation is locked. Is that a permanent thing? Oh, hi. Is it locked if I do that? Watch out, everybody. Nope, it's locked. Okay, so sorry. That makes for an interesting video. Next time, start that at the other orientation so that the camera. Okay, sorry, putting it back on the mount there. All right, so okay. All right, so speaking of scale size, So you said, Bill, that you were thinking about going to Tins, but you get such a good deal from from Old Glory, which I've never purchased Old Glory. A guy I know here locally in the St. Louis area, a lot of his army is Old Glory because he's an old school gamer, and I think that might have been one of the main lines at some point. So he, I think, has a ton of Old Glory, and his minis. Of course, he's a great painter and all that. His minis look awesome. And basing is a huge thing for miniatures, so I really need to get better at my basing. I need to be a little bit more meditative about my modeling and just kind of enjoy it while I do it. It's not my favorite thing. I want to just play games. I asked British Legion painted up some minis for me for a fee, and it was awesome because he got them done so fast. But I didn't have him base because I wasn't sure how I was basing him yet. But I know I would have loved his basing. So, so I have to do that still. I think it's my basing. All right. I am all over the place here tonight, guys. I apologize. But Bill said he was thinking about going to Tin Mill. Well, Tin Mill's awesome. Steve Clay on Facebook plays skirmish games with Tin Mill. He plays Blitzkrieg Commander. He does all this stuff in Tin Mill. I'm actually started out 6 mil because of the cost, and it's all even. And that I use GHQ, so it's expensive. But I started out that way, so I don't know any different. And their models are fantastic, and I just love. They were easy. I loved it. I got it, and I did them. So I've got American and German because I built out at platoon level where each stands a platoon, an armored infantry battalion, and tanks. Because my grandpa was in that 12th Armored, 56th Armored Infantry Battalion. I've told that story like a billion times on this channel. My non-war gamer friends get tired of it. I understand. So they, anyway, so I did that. I got a ton of Germans, and now I have some Russians. I have some early war Germans because I was going to do Eastern Front, 6 mil. But you know what? I'm not happy with a lot of the things about them. They are fine. I'm going to sell them. I think I'm not going to make a killing on them. I just want to move them. So I'm going to sell those. I'm going to hit my local people first because what I really don't want to do is ship them. But I'm probably going to have to ship them. But because my last attempt to sell some stuff locally did not go over, just didn't happen. No one wanted it. That was board games, which is a bummer. Actually, I might get rid of my SL kit with the local guy who runs a tournament, Jim. But I am going to sell my 6s. That one I'm set on. I'm settled on that. Now where I'm going is, I'll tell you what, this Pendraken has been super impressive. I should probably look at my comments. I'll do comments after every 2. This is going on so much faster than with an X-Acto knife. Okay. So now, and so then I had bought some 15s a while back. I bought some already painted Americans, and I painted up some Plastic Soldier Company. It took me forever. I think I had a flood in the middle of that deal. I did, as a matter of fact, because I'm like all gamers, I get distracted. I get it, and then I get distracted and think I want to do something else. Like even these Pendrakens have taken me forever. Now I did have 2 months where it's pretty much nothing happening except for life, so that's fine. But these Pendrakens are awesome. So I get them. I'm like, holy mackerel! And I got them because I'm trying to support Blitzkrieg Commander as best I can because I really like that rule set, and Leon seems like a good bloke. And so I thought, you know what? I want to do some videos on how to play. So if I have some Pendrakens, that'd be good. Of course, I got a ton. If I got too much, I should have got a fewer amount. I probably just got because I knew I was going to base 2 to a stand. Pendraken recommends 4 to a stand, I think, or 5. I mean, 4 people watching. Dang, dude. Who's watching? Wayward. Hey, man. Awesome. So dash fun, yeah, 2 to 3 per stand, especially if you play bolt action or even battle group. You can get away with multi-basing, and then have maybe some spares, some singles for casualties and other things. Warfare in the Age of Reason rules, and we're going to use Pendraken for those rules. Yeah, that sounds good for that. Wayward, let me show you what I used. So here's a guy. I don't want to say anything on air because, it's probably illegal or something. But maybe someone might have used, maybe my base cost me a cent. Yeah, that's what I'll tell you. My base cost me a penny. Golly, this is so bad. This is a reason not to do live video. So that's a penny, and I put a washer on the bottom. So it's tall. So they do stand tall. So, when they're sitting next to an 88, they're really tall for it. That looks so out of scale. This is the new 88. Oh, you know what? These are the Italian guys who are supposed to be running the guns. This is the soft plastic that they used. They are now moving away from that Battlefront. So I don't mind it. Now, the thing about the 15s, though, is that they... So, first of all, holy mackerel. I think this is an old Battlefront Mini. Sorry if it's blurry, everybody. Here's their new one. It's about the same size. It's smaller dude, though. Hand is the same. That's interesting. It's a little shorter, but that's okay. He's Italian. I'm just kidding. But he looks good with the gun. But when you put this guy next to the gun, it's crazy. Because he's like way up there. I know it's hard to see in there. But that's interesting. So that's the only problem with my basing method, is that it really puts them up high. But everyone's up high, so it's okay. I mean, here's a 307. And so here's the guy standing on the ground. That seems a little bit more realistic than this guy. He looks big. Now he's also a bigger mini. And then it's so funny, these guys in the... I don't mind heroic scale because it's all out of whack anyway. So anyway, that's the size. How big is my washer that I use? I can't find anything. This is embarrassing. Oh, there we go. I'm going to go over 30 minutes, that's for sure, if I haven't already. So, let's see, my penny, I think it's a 1/4 inch. Nope. Three-quarter inch. 18 millimeters, so 1.8 centimeters. Definitely 3/4 of an inch. Actually, a little shorter than 3/4 of an inch. Right at 3/4 of an inch, about 18 centimeters, or 19 centimeters. Depends where I put the washer. So 15, yeah, that's small. So what's funny is this guy's about 18 millimeters tall. I put that thing up like that, and let's see what this guy is. He's probably a true 15. Yeah, he's closer to a 15. Okay, I got this thing out, which I couldn't find, so I'm putting it back where it belongs. So basing is something that I struggle with, and that's one reason I'm getting rid of my 6s. I'm not super thrilled with the basing. So here's the deal. So when I was looking at the Flames of War, I thought, you know what? It would be okay to base them on these 4-person stands. They sell 5 and 4-person stands at this width. And I thought I could do that. Let's see how big those are. You guys probably know offhand. Probably Devin and... So they're 2 inches by 1.5 inches. The basing I chose appears to be... It's a millimeters, but it's about 1.5 inches. Can I put 2 of them there? Are they 2? Oh yeah, sure enough. So 2 of my stands that I chose to go with which I think are in millimeters. Or like that. So let's look at a couple things here. So those are the holes for it. You just stick them on there. And then they, there's these cool people who make these cool terrain bases. I'm not even sure these had holes in them, honestly, these here, but like the new ones do. Just set them in there, and if you don't use them, they have little plugs for them. It would be awesome to me to magnetize that. So then you're supposed to put this 88 that I put on this. So I put them on these bases upside down, because one thing I've never liked about the Flames of War bases is that they sit flush to the ground. And they get this beveled edge. I can't pick them up. That's why I like these bases. I can pick them up by the thing, and I'm grabbing the mini. My 6s are like that. You have to grab the mini or the corners. Okay, you grab the. See, you can't even grab the corners there. They're great because they're beveled. And another cool thing is you can paint on this beveled edge. So I actually did these inverted. So if I were to use Flames of War bases, although I guess I could put a magnet, because I'm going to magnetize them anyway. I don't think those really lift them up much. But if I, like on some of my Flames of War bases, which I don't have here handy, that I actually did put some I actually put some washers on the bottom so they actually lift up off the ground a little bit. Oh man, I'm just all over the place here. So I'm not settled on my basing. It's so funny. I just want to settle on something. It drives me crazy. I should go see a counselor about that. Like, why aren't those based and done? All right, so I went with. So I got the 10 mil. I really like the Pendraken. I'm basing them like this. This is, well, this isn't. That's a sniper, but this. So then I rotate them this way. So if it's a special unit like a recce, I turn that way. And if it's a regular infantry stand, I turn it that way. I know. The infantry frontage doesn't matter or isn't right, but I'm like, does it matter? Who's just keeping track of that? So I'm doing this. I measured out this nice thing to put a label, which I've shown before. Oh, I got one. I make it different and more colorful than this. So it's got this little label here. Infantry 112. Mal Wright on the Blitzkrieg. I might actually copy this. Actually puts the stats here on this. You could magnetize this and change that out, or make it dry erase or something. Probably that would be sloppy though. So I got the Pendraken. I thought, you know what? I might convert to Pendraken. Here's what I'm really wanting to do. I really want to get down to 1 scale, because like Jerry, the local guy who's done 15s his whole life, 50 years probably, who knows? He's got an incredible collection. Multi scales. I barely can get anything done. You see how long it's taken me to do this. I've only done 6. I'm chatting. Oh my gosh, I have 5 viewers, man. This is awesome. Oh, thank you, Dash. Thank you, Curtis. In scale terrain. No, I haven't. I haven't been doing 10 mil enough for that. I use balsa wood for my bases, 3/16 thick. I have a small little table saw, so I cut them myself. That's cool. Oh, what, are you serious? I've thought about that, Bill. I got, like, again, like my Flames of War books, I bought a ton of these for like super cheap one time. 6 people, what the heck? Dan, oh Dan, what's up, guy? 2 mil, yeah, 2 mil. Yeah, this is 3 mil. I'm pretty sure. It is thick. That's what he said. Oh. It's hard to know what they would call that. Oh, that's 3. 1, 2, 3. That's 3 mil. I just like it. I know it's cooler when it's flat with the table. I know. This is awesome, guys. This is great. What? I'm not sending you jack. Gun Barrel. Go watch some silent videos on Gun Barrel's channel. $2. I just got Nick paid his postage, man. You'll get your $2 and you ship me some, boy. Sorry for the screen shaking. I've gone 34 minutes. I bought a ton of 3 mil, 15 mil round bases for my 20 mil scale miniatures. Not sure like how thick the bases are. Yeah, so guys, it's like trying to determine what scale I want to do. because I see like what, but I do want to finish at least this job I started. Even if I don't play 10 mil, I want to finish the ones I've started. I'll have them painted, but let me tell you. So you look at like Steve Clay's battle scale miniatures on Facebook. He makes buildings primarily, but he's trying out with some rules and he's messing around. He's like me, just trying a bunch of rules. But he does make some awesome buildings and paints awesome buildings. I might have to get some just to support him. Well, they're 10 mil, so I probably wouldn't do that because probably not going to go 10 mil. So I love the look of the small games, the 6 mil, the 10 mil games. You can do some terrain and make it look awesome. Again, cheaper, it stores easy. This is why I'm not going to 1/72 scale. One, I can't find stuff as easy as people say. Oh, it's so easy to find buildings and cheap vehicles. I'm like, what? I'm not finding cheap vehicles anywhere. I don't know what these guys are talking about. I just don't find it. And trust me, man, I look. Because 1/72 sounds cool, or 20 mil, whichever. 1/76, 1/72, 20 mil, whatever you want to call it, give or take. Pool, pond would be good for you. But anyway, that's just even bigger. Like Matt, Rocky's War Room, gave me a 1/72 building that someone 3D printed for me. He gave it to me. It's awesome. But dude, that building's huge compared to like 6 mil buildings. You know, here's my 6 mil building. So let's just go down the journey with me. Just join me with me. So I had 15s. I tried the 10s because I wanted to see them for that. I wasn't necessarily going 10s. Well, then I got them. I'm like, what? Those are incredible. And I thought, I can use those with these 6 mil buildings. They work. It's fine. You can't go in them anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I thought I wouldn't have to get rid of my 6 mil buildings. I'm set, man. I'm doing 10 mil. I've got 15s, but I'm going to do both scales, 10 and 15. Well, then I sit there and it just takes me so long to build for a project anyway, and then I get distracted, and then I buy for 10s and 15s, and the terrain, the trees, and the roads are interchangeable, so that's good. The buildings aren't. I'm not going to use a 15 guy. Since I'm using 15s for skirmish, I'm not going to do that. That makes sense? Steve Clay, you guys talk about 15s on individual bases. Steve Clay does 10s on individual bases. And he's definitely using at least 15 or smaller round bases for that. Now that's starting to get crazy. That's crazy talk. That's like Gun Barrel wanting his $2 from me. It's not happening. But it's awesome. Because it looks awesome. And think about the size. I could have a whole game on my paint table right here. That's what I love about 6s. So honestly, I go back and forth with that. But here's another thing. My eyes. I'm getting older. It's harder to see things. I want to be able to see them a little bit. I'm going to label my bases anyway. Because I want to make it easier for people who don't wargame. Like if I'm solo playing, which is a lot of my play, whatever. I can remember stuff. I can remember who's with who. But it is nice having labels. Another thing I learned from Jerry. I don't know if I do like he and Mal does and make them for each specific unit. But anyway, labels are nice. So I got the 10 mil. I loved it. I was like, daggum, this stuff is great. There aren't quite, it's mini models, and it's hard to tell if this guy's got a submachine gun or a rifle. It's not, but I'm just saying, I'm just like, my eyes are not as good as they used to be. So what is it going to be like when I'm 70? 20 years from now. And you could say, well, you don't need to worry about that. But I kind of do. I want to think about it. I mean, I hope my eyes are good, but they are getting worse, right? So, and I'm here's one thing I'm kind of hesitating. I'm still not sure about playing 15 mil Blitzkrieg Commander. Honestly, that's what Jerry plays Command Decision. 15 mil, that's kind of what I kind of cut my teeth on, was 15 mil. Their platoon level. That's why I went to this 2 basing, because that's how Command Decision bases their minis. is a platoon is two figs, and then there are a variety of other things and other sizes for other weapons and all that. So that's how I went to that. So I kind of stuck with that. It's kind of funny how things stick with you. So my 6 mils, I think my 6 mils did put 3 per base. I'm also cheap, so I don't really want to put 3 to 5 miniatures per stand because I'm a cheapo. Maybe if I do Russians, I might do that to signify their bigger, platoons, companies, whatever they call them. In fact, that's probably a good idea. I wish I had a small Curtis or Devin or somebody who played Flames of War. What's the small base size at Flames of War? This is going way faster. So I'm really debating about it because I really want one scale. But here's another curveball. No matter what scale I go with, I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. I talked about wanting to limit my terrain, but if I play Blitzkrieg Commander, I think I want to do, and I was thinking about this about a year or two ago. I want to do the terrain in 2 mil. Because it's a bigger scale. Now, it's not that big, but then I could also do, each stand as a company or battalion or whatever. If I wanted to get into that, I probably won't get into that because I kind of use board games for my larger scale games. But for like battalions, divisions, all that kind of garbage. But excuse me. So, well, I say I want to limit my terrain, but yet I'm talking about going to 2 mil. So that would be one reason to go with 10. I could use one scale, keep the 6 mil buildings I have. I could, buy. I mean, really, with the 2 mil, there's not a whole lot of stuff I need to get for that. It would be the buildings, which I bought some recently, just to see what they were like. That'll probably be in a month or 2 before I do that stuff. I really need to finish these and get some instruction videos up for Blitzkrieg Commander. I just got these lovely, 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 lovely painted minis from Gun Barrel. Look at these things. They're not going to show up on here. I get it. Why is it so yellow? This light's very orange. I just now noticed that. So I could change the color temperature on that light. Anyway, you can't see these. No, these are 15 millimeter forged in battle. No, these things are freaking awesome. I did a video on them. Go check them out. I need to take a couple pics of them. But Gun Barrel, that guy, Gun Barrel. British Legion, that's why I asked him to paint him, because that guy, the biggest thing I'm impressed by him is his colors have come out so light. I mean, they're just incredible. I want to try to get one of these bad boys here. Again, I did make a video of this, so go check it out. These are Forged in Battle. I am super impressed Oh, geez. I am super impressed with Forge and Battle Minis. He painted these in like 2 weeks. You see how long it's taking me to do this basing? You know how long it took me to do this? Bull crap. It's bull crap. So he did a whole platoon and 4 Vickers, which I based the Vickers. And the Bren, because I needed them in a game I played. Look at those things. Stinking gun barrel. Oh, God, I keep saying gun barrel. Stinking gun barrel could do a good job too. But British Legion. So he just painted these up for me, right? So I'm like, I can't get rid of these. I can't sell these things. He just painted these for me. Like these guys don't even stand on their own. They definitely need a stand of some kind. So where am I in the discussion? I may talk myself out of what I thought was a secure decision. Just sitting here talking to you guys, because here's the thing. I have a ton of 15s painted. Several Germans. I mean, several. They're all single, but there's a lot that are based on S2s, which don't work too bad for those other games. And the problem is, like in bolt action, they're really close, so you put a template down, but whatever. You're gonna hit 2 guys anyway. And you could also just say the spacing can be 2 inches in between stands and not 1 if you wanted to. Again, the benefit of playing historical scenarios, not tournaments, and a lot of solo play. But it's always good to play the rules as written to learn them. So bolt action, battle group, you could have bases like this. So I could do 10 mil and have that. And I'm going to label what they are anyway. So in like bolt action, I could just, well, I wouldn't use those guys because they're specialists, but I could have them all down. Now this would be, that's about the right spacing. Depth is wrong. So if I did 10 mil, and this is a platoon, I'm sorry, a squad. I'm almost done. I need to finish these and then I can chat. So imagine these are, you can see this. So let's imagine this is my bolt action game, right? And I'm playing, they run up. And I stick with this size of building. Well, even the 10 scale buildings, he says he doesn't, Steve Clay doesn't even put his guys in the buildings. Well, his buildings, you can't put them in either. But you could just put like a guy there and like hold these guys back, or say, the whole platoon's in the building, or the whole squad's in the building. Well, here's the thing, it's a multi-story building. So, I guess you could get a marker and say they're on the 2nd floor. And say, okay, so here's my guys, this unit's in that building. But you kind of need to know what the weapons are, right? I need to know, and maybe that's written down on my sheet, on my order of battle, and I just know, this is my guys, and it all works. I did try playing bolt action ages ago, 1st edition. You can see a video about it in 6 mil with my son. He must have been 6. I didn't really enjoy it. Now, I don't think I liked 1st edition that well, but it also could have been that it was in 6 mil. And the cool thing is, playing in 15, I can see the guys. That's why 20's good. That's why 28's good. You can see the guns. You can see lots of details. You can kind of spend a little time painting them. Now, if you can paint like gun barrel, like Matt, like Bob, Hippie, all these guys I know, and not Jay. If you can paint like those guys, well, it's awesome. Like, look at this. These 15 mils are ridiculous. So I could play bolt action battle group this way, right? My skirmish game, and do everything in 6 and 10 mil, and call it good. Because honestly, it's almost hard to tell what some of the 15s have, except for when you're painting it well, like these guys do. I can tell what are rifles and what are stins. Not that many stins either. That's kind of weird. So, but I can tell here if I really make them, if I really make it a bright color, like I make this a really light brown and that's a black, I'm going to be able to tell that's black and brown. So 10 mil, I could do it. I can say, okay, these guys are in the building. Here's the squad. I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, they're leaving the building. They're going across. Um, the problem is, let's look here. So if I have 8 of those guys, so what I say, those are about 3/4 of an inch. I never play, well, sometimes you play with them all butted up against each other. So I'm not going to do the math here. So 3/4. If you have 8 guys, someone's on there doing the math going, come on, bro. So 5.5 inches. So really, it takes like this much more room. You probably can't see that on there. So if I put these guys, if I put 8 of my guys the way I've got them based, side by side, they'd go to here, which isn't that much further. So in some ways, so it goes right there. Oh, see ya, Bill. Thanks, guys, for jumping on. What do we got here? Third down to 3. I'm almost got an hour. So if you do this, these 15s are going to go out to here. They're not going to take that much room. Now it looks weird with this 6 mil building, right? And even a 10 mil building, it's not going to be that much bigger. It's going to be a little bigger. This building's probably going to be like this big. I think it looks weird. But then I think some of my 15 mil buildings look a little big too. I think they look big, whereas obviously this is small. You know, you're not doing true scale here, and then you're on a big tall base and blah, blah, blah. And that looks pretty close, right? I mean, look at that, but you can tell they're a little big. But I can live with that. But what I'm getting at is this, the way I've got them, it's about the same. So I don't know if I would be happy, or I would really save much space. I couldn't really reduce my table size with 10 mils doing skirmish gaming, right? I'd probably put them like this anyway, kind of space them out and let the base kind of space them. I would probably continue doing this way. So, okay, so let's say I play that game and I'm good. I've played that. And now, tomorrow, I'm playing I Ain't Been Shot Mom or Flames of War. Now, in Flames of War, this is a team, this is a team. Now it's taking up that much more room. So then you multiply that. I mean, I already played a little bit of Flames of War with some 15s. I'm like, dang, this is a crowded table. That's just crazy. I think it's weird they put them in teams, but. So I would play Flames of War this way and just keep track of, you don't even need to keep track of casualties. Problem is then you have a machine gun or not, so you'd have to decide if you wanted to get very specific with that. See, that's a little bit of a problem, using one base for multi-games. Depends if you need them specific on what the weapon is. So like on bolt action, I'd want them somewhat specific, but on the other games I wouldn't. Blah, blah, blah. And then I go, and if I do Flames of War with that, you could still do this. Like, right, here's our team, here's your building. That's good enough. You know, I'm in a city. Right, and there's my 2 teams. Oh, yeah, there's my 2 teams. If I played I Ain't Been Shot Mom, this is a squad, right? Now the squad is down from this to that. Actually, you could do a squad the same here because you keep track of casualties on that. So you could like, oh, I've lost half my guys. That's still my squad. So you could do it either way. And then Blitzkrieg Commander, this is my platoon. And that's when you go down to the 2 mil buildings, which I have right here. So this is the dilemma, right? What do I do? What do I go with? I haven't even pulled these out of the bags yet. Ooh, it's a carriage house. It's just a big garage. It's a little cleaning up. Pico armor. Oh, there's the gatehouse I want. Well, here, what I'll do is I'll design little towns on bases, so either towns or cities, and then you can stick them on top. So I'll have to space the buildings such that I can set them on top of that. And that I have no problem with. It's like there's a platoon, and if it's a small village, then that's the platoon right there in the village. But if I have a whole big old town, so a village, town with like 4 buildings, and maybe you put 2 platoons in there, and then a city, you can put like 4 platoons in there. And I would try to just find like basic sizes. I'd probably do like 4 inches. It's a city. I've seen people do cool things with that. So that I'm doing. The question I have is, ouch, do I want to do 15s or 10s? Either way, I'm going to have multiple terrain, but the 2 mil terrain is not bad. I mean, it's going to be those buildings, and you can lay bocage out with just strips of flocking. I like doing 15s because I like looking at the weapons and knowing that. And I just feel like there's more 15 choices out there. I mean, I've also considered like, oh, if Flames of War doesn't last, or 15 is going to be around. I mean, I guess Gold Glory was around, so they were making 15s. I need to get back to the chat. I should have done that before I did this. So this is me. Curtis is used to this. He's listened to me for years and talked to me for years about this and how I float. So now I'm not too worried about. I'm kind of narrowing down my game choices, but it's part of what I do. It's what I do instead of going to Napoleonics and Civil War and all that. I kind of bounce from back and forth in between World War II rule sets. It's fun. I like it. I've come to enjoy it. And I've come to accept I like to buy rules, read them, and never play them. I know I'm never going to play them. Like Combat Command, I tried out. It's cool, but it doesn't do anything that I need to change. I really got into Command HQ, Jim Bambara. And he was really good. He was really supporting stuff, and I'm not really sure what's going on with that right now, but I think it's the same scale. I think it's stands or platoons. I was just like, I don't know. I mean, it's fine. I've got one I like. And I think that's where I kind of came to. I like simpler rules for my minis. All right, before I do this, I'm going to go get a drink, but I'm going to look at the chat. We have 3 guys on. All right, Dan, you should magnetize your individual guys and then stick them on different bases to use them with different game systems. It would give you some flexibility. Well, that's interesting, Dan. So I don't know if you were here earlier, but I did magnetize these 15s. They're a little tall, so I probably need to not go on the pennies and just use the washers, cover up the holes. Don't be lazy. But what I do like about these, you can't see them. What I talk about is I like the thickness. I don't have to pick it up by the mini. I can pick it up by the base. I know that's a bugaboo for a lot of people. So here's just the washer. It's a little tougher. Now, it does help when you're on fabric or on a mat, gaming mat, because your fingers can kind of dip in a little bit and get it. So that's a good idea, Dan. So let's take a look at that. So here's a Flames of War base, just as an example. I could do I have another 15 on here? Yeah, I have this, my Italian dude. So they would be magnetized, and I could put them on a base, and now I could use them. I would be okay. I need to find a small base. Did you guys ever tell me what base size? So gun barrel, so small. Are you making fun of me, bro? Like I said, Steve Clay's fine not putting him in building, and 6 mil, I can't put him in the building anyway. Oh, I don't know if you're still on or not, but yes. Penny on a washer. So if I wanted to, I could paint that a color to identify like a yellow. You have to be careful with colors, right? Because I do have friends that are colorblind. So a lot of people say, like even the Chain of Command guys, 2 Fat Lardies, they say their game looks better in 15 because it's a better ground scale. Oh, yeah. Look at this little guy. Look at that little cute little guy. Little pink house is for gun barrel. Look at the 15 guy. He's like, hello. He's looking in the window with his little binoculars thingies. come on, this is serious. So anyway, well, you know the reason why it looks out of scale. No, why? Because it is. So 1 by 1.25, Curtis. So let's do that real quick. I'm kind of sticking with what Dan was talking about here. So 1. Okay, so they're this size by 1 inch. Oh, so they're half size. Okay, well now, oh, dang. So their small bases are my base size. So I could get just tons of those bases. I don't have to do this. I don't know if I have any blank ones. Magnetize these. And oh, that's not going to work. I need smaller magnets. It's not going to work at all. So like the ones that Gun Barrel paint, or Kali, British Legion painted for me, they don't have bases. So I'm going to have to base them on something. I would have to go smaller. I need to find washers that don't have such a big hole. Well, these actually do have smaller holes. But I need to find a washer. I'm not going to be able to, see I bought these at Lowe's, so I'm not going to be able to do that. You have to buy them online. So I need a ferrous metal thing. That is, what's the smallest? Curtis, would you say 15 mil? What you based on? So that'd be 15 mil. So that'd be tight. It'd be tight. There wouldn't be a lot on the base. I wouldn't have a lot of flocking on the base. It would have to be that. How big's a dime? Do I have any dimes down here? I'm not going to use dimes for basing. I'm not Gun Barrel. I'm not made of money. Sorry, Gun Barrel and I have this little rivalry. Someday we're going to see each other in the Circle K and go to blows. Oh yeah? Here's your $2. A $2 punch to the face. I'm just kidding. Or am I? So I've never met Gun Barrel. We've only chitty chatted. I think we're secretly, no, never mind. I was going to joke, and you may not appreciate the joke. Okay, this is interesting. So I know a dime is smaller than a penny. I know that. Not really. Dang, it's about the same size. I always thought they were much smaller. Must be thinking of a nickel. Todd learns the U.S. currency. Watch now. So if I had a 15 mil circle, they would both fit on here. I'm really curious about Dan's suggestion. Now, they would fit on these bases, 2 of these guys. Bam. Bam. Then I could individually or use these. So I could not fit 3. So if I had 3 15s, that's really hard to look here. How wide are those? 1, 2, 3, 4. A little over 4.5. So you could. It wouldn't take much to also get a little texture of these. I think they're warped. This is interesting. Dan's idea. I mean, I think I've kind of thought of this before, but I hadn't really thought about it. I mean, they're magnetized already. Single base for bolt action. Big base. Because if I play, like I said, if I play Flames of War, I'm just going to go, that's a team. 2 guys. Because you got to write down all the OOB anyway, so it doesn't matter what's on the base anyway. Although they say, what you see is what you get. How come I don't see more Flames of War guys doing historical battles? Because it's an easy set to play. Maybe because it's not that easy of a set, and they just rather do something else. Okay, so Dan, I'm going to think about that. Thanks for that. Give me another yet flippin' idea. I'm not going to do single base 10s, though. I just don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm coming around to 15s again. Question is, will I like playing... Let me finish this here. Will I like playing Combat Blitzkrieg Commander in 15 mil? Even though that's what I was first played, platoon scale with 15s. either way, I've decided I want to go. Well, I don't know if I was really totally sold on playing Blitzkrieg Commander with the 2 mil minis, 2 mil terrain. Not sure I was convinced of that yet. So this is my dilemma. This is what I think about. I'd like to decide and just stick with it. Otherwise, I will use 15s, base like this. I can't though. Not with these bases. I'd have to. Yeah, so what you do is this becomes your base and you just glue them down. But if I want to do the magnet method, it's another issue. I was just checking out Chris Long's video, and he was doing magnetizing and had the circles on the bases and all that stuff. So I was kind of tempted by that as well. One more. Let me get this one done, and it's taken me an hour, not 30 minutes. But I have been kind of gabbing, haven't I? I was going to go to the drink. I am thirsty. I did bring a drink down. Thanks, guys, for sticking on here. I hope my calming voice has helped you paint or cut chits out or, go to sleepy. Maybe you're asleep. Can you imagine going to sleep to my voice? Imagine the dreams you'd have. Ooh. 10 mil, 15 mil, basing, not basing, magnetizing, not magnetizing, pennies, dimes, nickels, oh my. Breaking the American economy. Anyway, I wouldn't. Okay, done. If I would have had the right tool and I hadn't talked, I probably could have done it in 30 minutes. I'm funny. Vallejo ground texture acrylic. Use it. Love it. All right, so 15s on bases like this. So here, there. These are 15s on bases like this. Right here. Right here, bruh. Problem is, there's no room to mark them. I needed to move these guys closer up on the edge. Why did I not do that? What a silly boy. So why did I not do that? That's really weird. Well, I couldn't really do it with these because they're, as I did in my video, pow, 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 pow. Oh, Paul, what's up, man? Pete Bacchus. Been watching your ASL vids, but you won't tempt me this time. That's funny. I'm Hardcore Combat Commander. Thanks, Dan. Just starting, loving the battle so far. Curtis, been loving your ASL videos. Oh, I've been chilling, waiting to eat and play some more ASL. Hey, Curtis. Paul, what's up, man? So, Paul, you have you been getting into Flames of War again? What have you been doing? Paul, what have you been playing? You've been playing any platoon level, either, or company level? I know you don't do IH in Shop Mom. Paul, I feel like you kind of go in and out a little bit of rules too. Am I reading you correctly? Who do I have left on there? So I got 3 guys in there. Who's the other guy on there? Is it Wayward? No, Dan. I'm just curious. So the guys who are on there, Dan, Curtis, and Paul, would you consider yourself more of a board gamer, miniature gamer, or painter? I would consider myself more of I'm a 50-50 split board game and miniature gamer. Painter last. So, and right now, so it's funny, I'll give my answer while you guys type up yours. So, miniature gamer, board gamer, and by board game, I mean war game. I don't blame those other games. Or painter, or /modeler. I would go, it depends on what time of day or what day it is. Right now, I'm leaning towards mini games. I'm wanting to play more mini games because I can set up a game and actually get it. I've just got the rules down and stuff quicker. And then I would say a board gamer and then a painter. So let's see if you guys have answered this. Board gamer first. Really, Curtis? That? Okay. Believe it or not, miniature second, painter last. What? Dang. So you like playing the games more than painting. But I guess you have a lot of minis painted right now, don't you, Curtis? You don't really, at least in World War II. That's interesting. I'm surprised, but I'm not. If I kind of pay attention to your videos and your chats and stuff, So yeah. So you're in that phase of board gaming because it's easier. And I think you're limited on space right now, or will be soon, or something. So that makes sense there. Okay, well those got done. That's cool. So that's how many stands is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 15 stands. So that's cool. That went relatively well. I don't want to base those guys up. So this is interesting. Dan's got me really questioning now what I want to do as far as basing. I really want to think it through and get it done and decided. So here's the problem with going with this size. I think that maybe I don't worry about it. Like some of the weapons, I don't need to mark them. But I do want to mark my stands if I'm playing platoon level. I mean, doing this size of base would put me more in line with Pendraken's thing. Yeah, I think they're 50. Probably by 225. I think they're 50 by 25. It looks more like that. So anyway, this would put me more in line with what they want to do. If I do 15s, the question is, so here's 15s. And if I were to play Blitzkrieg Commander, which I love, and I like playing it in centimeters when I use 6 mil. So this is 2 infantry platoons. Oh no, I think they have a firing range of 30. I don't know if I can fit 30 centimeters on this. So here's my range with 15s, which is almost 12 inches. Really, it's almost a foot. And I see that and I'm like, well, that's okay, because these are platoons. It's cool. All right, so I think I'm set. I am still settling on 15s. Now the question is basing. I have a ton of 15s based on this size, 2 guys to a stand. And they're based like this, and they have little markings on them that I'm not really happy with. I'm not going to grab those out. I don't have time for that. So let's see. How'd you guys other guys answer? Base your 15s on 30 by 30. Hey, you base your 15s on 30 by 30. Okay, so that's 30. So these are 30 long, and I think they're 25. So another 5, yeah. So I don't think I have anything like that. So anyway, yes. What do I do square? Okay, I don't have any of my squares. That 30 by 30, I think, might be my command size in 6 mil Blitzkrieg Commander. 3 centimeter square is an excellent base size for any period in 15. Base your 15s on 30 by 30 or 10s. LOL. Todd, scroll up and read what I said about how I decided to base for max variety. Don't make me have to make a video on it. Okay, hold on. So I'm doing this so I can read. Error above, I don't paint board games. That would be horrible. No, I agree. Dan, I spend more time painting than anything. I used to play lots of board games, love playing miniature games, and I get a friend to play. So right now you're painting. So basically painting. You'll play a board game or miniature game in order. Miniature and rules, collector, painter, miniature gamer, board game, painter. Yeah, okay, you're not a board game painter. So everyone, that's an error at 23. Oh, exactly 23 at 11 o'clock. Pete Bacchus made a mistake. He is not a board game painter. So that's interesting, Paul. In order, miniatures and rules collector. Definitely you and I are on the same page there. Painter, miniature gamer, board game. And then that's where you and I reverse. And I think I can tell that from your vids. I would say miniature. Okay, cool, guys. Thanks for answering that. Tight at the top of my hobby life. Board gamer first. Okay, so right there, I'm a rules whore. I've been playing Bolt Action a fair bit and painting some flame stuff up. So Paul, you weren't here when did you see that I'm actually kind of getting some Flames of War rules? Oh, here's an awesome thing for Flames of War, man. It's not Flames of War. This is anything. And it's Vallejo. I'm so excited because it's Vallejo. They went back to Vallejo. This book is awesome. I can't talk enough good about this book. I need to do an official review of this book because I love it. I like to review things I love. I don't like to review things I don't love. Okay. I mean, ask Curtis. I'm a rules whore too, man. Bolt Action, man, I just like it. Paul, you and I are along the same routes as far as gaming because I know you've tried Crossfire and I ain't been Shot Mom right and Chain of Command and I don't know, maybe it's just a simpler rule. But Paul, I think so. Anyway, I've got a version 4 of the rules because I bought El Alamein one time just to get some minis, just because I was on vacation at my mom's house and I went to a game store and they had it and I was like, you know what, I'm going to buy this. I started putting them together at her house, whatever. So, but the rules aren't quite as right now. They're not as easy. They're pretty easy. They're kind of weird too, a little bit. Check out fender washers for your basing. Fender washers. So what do? Do they have smaller holes on them? Making a note on my board here. Fender washers. Dan. I'll be like, later on, I'll be like, I can't read that. Fender washer Dan. Dan's a fender washer? Okay, let's see. Todd, check out fender washer for your basing. Dash Valon. So right now I'm looking for where Curtis talks about his basing. Oh, you came on, man. You've been on a long time. Whoa. Oh, no. Never mind. I can use my 15 millimeter Flames of War base models with BKC, Flames of War, Panzer Grenadier. I ain't been Shot Mom. Dan, I think you're right. You said this several minutes ago. Sounds like deep down you prefer 15s if you need to limit yourself to one scale. I'm thinking so. Because there's enough detail in the models. It's cool. Yes, Curtis. If you're all over the place on rules, that's one reason I also looked at Flames of War. That's one thing I like about Flames of War and Bolt Action and those rule sets. It is simple. Bam. Here's what you do. A lot of games tell you what to base, and you don't have to. I don't know. Okay, so some on. Ooh, it's on, bro. Gun barrel, it's on. Sweet. I'll see you at the Circle K, bro. I chose to do two scales, 15 based on Flames of War bases and 20 mil on 1 to 3 figs of base. 20 mil is cool, man. Litco sells flexible magnetic paper and flexible steel paper that is adhesive backed if you wanted to have them more flush. The washers do make it easier to pick up, like you said. So I've seen that magnetic paper and the flexible steel paper. Chow, gun barrel left. So things to think about. God created 15. But I do play Bolt Action in 28. Well, that's another thing I've been tempted by, but only barely. And I'll tell you why it does not tempt me. And this goes by what I'm a painter, modeler last. So I would go 20 because you can find 20s you don't have to assemble, especially AB. Those models are awesome looking for 20 mil. But I'm not going 28 because I am not assembling models. When I have to put arms or a head on a 15, it drives me crazy. Now, I know it would be easier on a 28, but I am not spending half my time building models. I don't care how good they are. I am just 20 mil is pensioner scale. That's funny. I need to put this down. I'm shaking. So excited. So fun talking to you guys. It's always good to be live and actually talking. I try to do your accents, but I'll embarrass myself. All right, so I'm settled on 15s. So I'll get these tins painted up. Maybe I'll just get these painted up. I've got some German SS over here. You can see. Can you see those over here in the dark? So there's some 10, 15, 10 painted up there. I mean, they look pretty good. I'm pretty happy with them. They're not as... Oh, man, how can I do this? I'm going to see if I can set this down here. Let's see if I can do this. Let's look at the... I know it's how you undercoat and all that business. But I've got 15s that are dark like this, too, so I know this is a concern I have. Well, Paul, these over here, these were painted by British Legion. It's really hard to tell in here. I don't know. It's really hard to tell on this with this camera and stuff. They're pretty light. My whole goal with this was to base them light gray. Maybe I should do them white. And what I mean is it's lighter. My sixes are okay. Well, sixes you can't even see. But a lot of 15s are too dark. I washed them, and the lighting's terrible here, so guys, so you can't really judge them by my lighting. Well, thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy. A good model makes it easy to paint. I'm really happy with the way the tins have turned out. I really am. They're not too bad, light-wise. I really appreciate that. I did not wash them. I can tell that, oh, I don't think British painted that guy's mustache. I want my money back. So I think I did not wash, and that's probably my key there. I do not want to wash. But British washed. It's so good. The darn British Legion. Oh, I need to paint that guy's machine gun, too. I don't think they were green. Might have missed that one. I don't know, did he paint all the Stens green? I don't know, maybe they were green. I don't know. I don't think they were, though. No, they're black, so. So my problem is I struggle with the dark of my colors. So I'm really trying, using the colors of war, using a light. Oh, they use black. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time highlighting. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. I'm rambling here. 83 minutes. I'm going way over my time. But it's been fun. This is really awesome doing this, guys. All right, so fender washers, I'm going to check those out. So I'm going to go 15s. You guys have convinced me, man. This has been it. I'm making the decision. 15s. 15 mil scenery. And, well, what I have to decide on is how I'm going to do the scenery for Blitzkrieg Commander. Am I going to keep my 6s and just use my... So let's back up here again. Let's do that again. Let's back up. Not that I have to make this decision now, but do I do my buildings in 2 mil? And sure, in here, they're tiny. You know, you get the point there. They're like this. I'm not going to use 15 mil buildings. Jerry, lots of people do. Mal Wright, he's on the Blitzkrieg Commander group. If you're not on the Blitzkrieg Commander fan group, I'd love for you to join. Kurt, are you on that? I know you don't play right now, but you'd be a great addition to the group there. And Paul, I think you're on there, aren't you, Paul? Blitzkrieg Commander fan group. There's like 370 of us so far. It's really cool. It's fun been watching people get to learn 4. So the question is, do I go? So these are 15s. Boop, boop, boop. Beep, boop, boop. 15s. Beely bop. And where's my single base 15? Where's more 15 single based? It wouldn't take much for me to pry those washers off there. They're still too wide though. See, that's a little bit of the problem. I like Dan's suggestion, but I got a lot of them based like this. But it might be worth it. I don't need a 15. So, do I want to play? This is a platoon. Imagine this is a platoon. It's actually turned this way. Do I want to do like this, so the platoon is in the town? Or do I want to do it like that, where the platoon is in the town? Oh man, Paul. I am with you, bro. No, Paul, I'm going to use you think I should use the 15s for when this is a platoon? And just do it? Just stick with it? Stick with one scale to rule them all? Because I just like the look at that. Anyway. You know, I don't need to worry about that because I've got stuff for all the scales right now. I just want to kind of winnow some of them out because if I get rid of the 6s, then I have some 6s to sell, which I'd be fine with. I enjoyed painting them, and they look pretty good for me. I'm pretty happy with them. But what I'm saying is this is a platoon, and this is a, you set it out in you have like a square, right? Or a circle or something. That's a city. Can you see that on there? Oh, no. Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember you did that. I understand. Sorry to see you go, but yes, I understand. I remember you doing that, too. I try not to take it personal. I thought, is he no longer like me? But for your sanity, I think you have to get off. And I think you are a man of the law, are you not? And I don't know. Maybe it's best not to be on there. I mean, so I have 2 profiles, and I know they don't like that, but sorry, I had to charge my phone. Is it charging? I have 2 profiles, one personal, one modeling, and I would have made a group like Dash did, like Curtis did, and had like 800 Hobbyist Gaming or something, but I didn't. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. We don't need to talk about Facebook. Who cares? All right, so here's my town. So no matter what size I do, so like if I use 15 mil buildings, one building would be a town. And yes, Facebook is a time meter. Like even with a group, I go in there, check group, and like, oh, what's Curtis doing? Oh, what's this group doing? Oh, what's this group doing? So here's my town. I'm playing this as a platoon. So this would be a city really size. And if I have a battlefront building, which Paul, I'm with you, man. Those battlefront buildings, they're plain looking, and why do you say they're cheap? That's funny. I haven't really found them cheap. Are they cheap in Australia or New Zealand or over there? What are you, not New Zealand? You told me this like a million times. Whoa, what are you laughing about? Oh, yeah. Use 15 millimeter. They're so cheap. So you're saying that doing that, I undercoat in black, then paint the base colors of the figure, then hit them with the wash, but then I mix them 50-50 with water. Whoa, cancel. I almost reported you, Paul. But I mix them 50-50 with water, then I highlight with the original base colors. It's an easy process. Okay, I'm gonna try that. So hey, Paul, when you undercoat black and paint base colors, do you leave some of the black on there, or do you just paint over the black? You know what I'm saying? So you're saying you do black undercoat, and then you do like the U.S. Army green, but you dilute that 50-50 before you put it on. Is that accurate? And then you wash? Because it seems like in the Colors of War, I'm trying to follow the Colors of War. Join with me, Will. I'm trying to follow their instructions exactly. I thought, I'm going to do a little paint by numbers, and I have no qualms doing that. Although, I will tell you that they did not... They have a lot of cool things in this book. I love this book. Love it. I want to marry it. Hold on. I mean, why I like Flames of War is just got everything in one. You got to hit the beach. You got the rules. It's all right there. It's so nice. Now, Pendraken is doing that. So here's the deal. Listen, guys, I'm just like a broken record. But Pendraken, they came out with these starter sets, which I think is awesome, and they're trying to do that. And they worked with Micromark to come up with lists. I mean, they're doing it. I'm thinking, this is my game, and I'm not even willing to play that the way it's supposed to be played. I'm so funny. I'm funny. Funny is one way of saying it. I did have a woman at work say, "Todd, you're weird." I took it as a compliment. And then she slowly walked away. Just kidding. She quickly walked away. She ran. She was running, full on running. I'm just messing around. But she did say I was weird. That part's accurate. Sorry, guys. Is this on? Okay. I love this. They do this great, like, here. Sorry, boys. It's great. Like, so look, they do it black, and then they paint them, and they leave some of the black on there. Oh wait, and then they overcoat it. No, never mind. They don't leave it on there. I thought they left it on there. But what's funny to me? Oh wait, is Flat Earth the pants? It's so funny. They don't tell you the color of his pants. They do this amazing thing. Airborne palette, English uniform, gray ochre. They don't tell you what color to paint his pants. It's not much of a paint by number. But I do like the actual size picture. Okay, well then I was wrong there. Let me look at another non-camo outfit. Here they go to the basics. Let's go to the basics. This is really a great book, man. So I have like this fencing. I need to get this house. This is a new house out. I need to get a ruined one. It does make me regret not buying them when I've seen them in the past, because when they go, they don't stick around. Common features, seasonal basing, blah, blah, blah. Oh, wait, there's our mini ones. I just like the help. It's just helpful. It's just great. Long hole converter. You're a long hole converter. Plan your platoon. I love it, man. I love this stuff. Well, so they have these cool rural bases. Rural bases. Oh, see? Look, they do have them. They have them with 3. I probably shouldn't be showing this on the video. Let me go over here. Just realized how much I was showing this. So that's bases, advanced canteens. Let's go to America. I don't need camo. So look at this guy. He's black. No, so they just paint over it, but they do leave some black, but not really. They don't really leave a whole lot of black. All right, well, then why paint him black then? But, okay. Well, anyway, Dan, I like your method. Sorry, guys, I'm all over the place, but that's what I am, and it's fun. All right, so what have I learned today? I'm going to keep notes on my little board here. So I've learned I want to look at fender washers. I assume they have like much smaller holes for smaller screws, like metal screws, I'm sure. Fender washers. Well, so Curtis, you talked about the frames that we're basing in. I was thinking about that. Because they kind of come, like I was showing you those things, you can use them for anything. So then they would be like this size. And, include a couple more guys on there. Bippity boppity bacon. The guns fit on there. So fender washers would be one way of doing them, and they would be only that thick, so they'd be much thinner. So they'd be thinner on the bases here, but I need to get smaller ones anyway. Because I really like, or I'm not enough of these things. And anyway, like these guys, well, these guys are already that size. Like these guys won't fit on there. I do like the bases with the spaces for how big are these holes? So these guys will fit in here. Oh, they won't. Look at that. So you have to plug them up and put those on top, and they don't give you enough of those plugs. Fender washers. And then you guys are recommending 15s for platoon level games. So what I'm getting at is, here's my town, here's my city, here's my 15 mils, bam, they're in the city. Yeah, do I also convert them to inches? I think not. I don't think I have to, because if I do convert them to inches, it's 10 inches. Now my table has to be huge. Because my basing is the same size I was using for 6 mil anyway, so it's all the same. So anyway, here's my town, bam. I have big buildings in here, that's why I do 6, and that's my town. Or I do like little 2 mil buildings, and that's like a city, and it looks cool, and my trees are like, my trees, or I can show what my trees would be. You can just lay down the clump foliage, or it can be something like this. They're kind of tall, actually. Then that's your forest. And your fields can be the fields I have. And actually, fields. Oh man, I thought I'd painted that. Whoops. And then like bocage can just be like strips of just lines of clump foliage just pushed together. Fields would actually just be cloth, and forest could just be clumps of clump foliage, or that stuff I just showed you. So I'm down to and building size, or excuse me, I have a 15 mil building, which you guys know takes up about this much room. And I go, oh, there's a city, bam, I'm in the city. Command Decision uses 4-inch squares, because they go in inches, for a city, and maybe 2 or 3 inch, can't remember, for like towns. You know, small built-up areas, big built-up areas, but then they also divide their built-up areas. Jerry didn't play this way, into like areas like this, and like this is this side. So it's kind of interesting. I kind of like it, because then it's like this guy can shoot into here and here and here, but he can't shoot over to here. Same, you know, this guy can shoot into these 3 areas, like anybody in that area, but he can't shoot over here. It's like you're on the other side of the town, which is cool. But he never played that way. He just said, you know, this is the town is the house, and he just, I don't know how he did that. Actually, I'm not thinking about it. If he just had like one house, I think he would just tell you, you know, it'd be like, oh, this is a cottage, this is a small village, so it's one. And if you had several buildings, he'd be like, this is a city, right? Yeah, I mean, this is your town, this is your built-up area here, you know, and you got the several buildings, and you know, I don't even know if he counted this as like open, like the streets as open, or just the whole thing's a built-up area. I don't even know how he did that. Probably depended how you wanted to play that. Like if you're doing Arnhem or Stalingrad, or you could like say the buildings were like heavy built-up areas, and then the streets were, you know, like a light cover or something for like rubble and stuff. So buildings, it's interesting. You guys have got me thinking. If I really did one scale, if I really wanted to do one scale, I could really do one scale. Just stick with it'd be the matter of basing, with what I'm really happy with basing. I'll tell you what, you know, I just see other people's boards and you just are like, dang. I'm not really going for, like, Mark Luther is probably my favorite board game. Is anyone else watching? Mark Luther on the he played I Ain't Been Shot Mom, and now he's into Chain of Command. That guy's tables are probably my favorite. Sorry for whoever's watching. Hands down, one of my favorite. He's not that guy that does those crazy tables with the 2 mil stuff. That's crazy. Some French guy, or I don't know where he's from, but his that guy's maps were like contoured. But anyway, Mark Luther's amazing. Gives a sheet out and he puts canvas. He puts styrofoam on the ground, on the table, and then makes rolling hills. And he uses pastels for the roads. The most natural looking boards you see. And he plays in 6 mil primarily. Amazing. And he plays with inches. He plays all the same sizes. And I was in Atlanta and I had a chance to go, but I couldn't make it there. It was an hour and a half away from where I was in Atlanta, and I just could not make it. And they had a game day. His Chain of Command, I don't know what scale he plays Chain of Command, but he anyway, I see that stuff and I'm just like, dang, man. I've got to come to a place in my tables where I'm satisfied with them. You guys can watch my videos, and some of them look fine. They look good, and I'm actually happy with them. So I'm going to go down I think I'm going to go down the 15 mil. I'm debating now the 15 mil route and the 2 mil. 2 mil won't be hard, because I'm going to have those materials anyway. So I'm definitely gonna try, like, and I know a guy uses he uses tape for rows, like masking tape, like this color tape, like I've got on this side, this glass here. You could do that and just kind of like paint it brown, or not even paint it, just kind of pastel it or something. I've tried the pastel thing, and the cool thing about it is it kind of patinas the mat, so it starts to look even more natural. You guys have really helped me. You guys just sitting here texting me has really helped. I appreciate it. Just being confident in what I'm doing, and I'm happy with what I'm doing. So I'm confident. Watch me tomorrow. I'll be like, I'm back to 6. I'm going to 2 mil for all my gaming. I won't do that. I won't do that. I won't do 28s. I could see me being tempted. Oh man, Atelieri. Speaking of tempted, they have a whole Pegasus set bridge in 20 mil now. I don't know what their models are like, but I love sets. I love packs, man. If you can get the kit. So then I started thinking about, man, if Battlefront wasn't so all over the place, they could make some kits, dude. First of all, can I just say something? I was tempted by only tempted for a second, the 28 mil bolt action they don't call it Hit the Beach, but their D-Day set. That's an awesome set. There's a bunker. I think there's an LCT. There's appropriate figures. Battlefront. And I do not like to be critical of companies. There's no benefit to that. There's enough stuff in our world that we need to really care about, and this should not be one of them, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? This is our hobby, and we're passionate about it, but I mean, whatever Battlefront did, they do. But I kind of was like, man, they just did their open firebox, and they called it Hit the Beach, right, for D-Day. I'm like, I'm a marketing guy, but come on. Now, the reason I say come on is there's a V2 rocket launcher. There are 8 Shermans, and there are no bunkers, because that's not what it was designed originally. First of all, 8 Shermans. Oh my gosh! But guess what? I'm so tempted by it. I still might get it. But it's not a Hit the Beach. They could easily create a starter force. I love the whole thing that 2 guys or 2 people could guide that box, $25 each, and each get themselves an army to play each other and play the rules. That's amazing. I love it. That $25 to get into miniatures. Please, man. And it's their hard plastics. They give you all the instructions. I think is an amazing deal. I might get it just because of that, because I'm like, it's great. Just don't call it Hit the Beach, because you're not hitting any beaches with 8 Shermans and no bunkers. You know what I'm saying? Come on, people. It's ridiculous. But they could make a Pegasus bridge set. Now, the problem is that Pegasus bridge model alone on foreground costs like $95. So that would be tough. So that's a tough sell. but maybe they could get a deal with foreground and like make it so it's 75 or maybe $50 for that bridge. They could probably get it for $50 and then add some models, make it $100 kit. So yeah, it's $50 each, but you're getting Pegasus Bridge plus British Airborne plus maybe throw in a. I think it'd be fun to throw in an R-35 tank, like an R-35. Well, that's what they had, and a Stug. Throw those two things in there. Throw a an anti-aircraft gun in there for the Germans, and then in the British, throw a glider in there. Just throw one, right? I know they had three there, but throw one in, and then I don't even, I wouldn't put a Sherman in there. Maybe put a Firefly that comes from the beach later. That would actually probably be pretty cool. Put a Firefly in there, even though that's not historical either, but not for the Pegasus Bridge, but they did come eventually. That would be cool. What's the other thing? I thought a Market Garden one or Hell's Highway. You could do like a 30 core and American Airborne, so that'd be a cool way to mix the two together. You could put a couple of Firefly, a Sherman, and maybe a Dingo. No, I don't know. You wouldn't do a Dingo. And then you put like you could there with the Germans. My goodness, you could put a Stug. You could put a Panther. You could put a four. Maybe just hodgepodge that together. You could put a Tiger probably. People love tanks. I'm not a tank guy myself. And then have Hell's Highway, and then have an anti-tank gun. Again, you could do that set for $50. You already did Al Alamein, you did Fury. I felt like I'd come up with like two or three. If you want a pure infantry one, you could do Crete. What's the other one I just thought of? Well, I mean, you could do like Band of Brothers, Tan or something, or Carentan or something. Anyway, there's a lot of little kits they could put together, and maybe they will. So buildings, I got to say buildings. So what I'll do with buildings is I'm going to build out my 2 mil kit. I may do like a summary video of this after this. You guys have been awesome. Need to check out what you've chatted about. Choose my basing size, 2 mil, 15 mil. So now I know I can sell my 6s. All of it. Find a local person. And I will end up selling the 10s. Not because they're not good models. I love the models. And I love the fact that they're doing kits and sets and stuff like that. But I'm joining the old dudes, I guess. All right, let's see what you guys have said. This has been awesome. It's been one of the best chats I've had. Battlefront are bringing out a hit the beach terrain pack now. Oh, it's flat. I know, Paul. Again, that's awesome. Heavy cardboard comes with a mat, paper beach mat, 12 landing craft bunkers, gliders. Oh, they have gliders in it? That's cool. But I asked someone, and I think it was a Battlefront person, told me they're making those in 3D. So that's cool, right? Here, I'm going to hold this. I think I can hold it more still than... All right, what do you guys said here? Your tables look fine. Thanks. I wouldn't do it fishing for that, but thanks. English uniform, the pants, thanks. Man, you guys are great. This is great. All right, let's see here. Paras, I have those. Those 10 mil look darn good, Todd. Let me just read that again. Those 10 mil look darn good, Todd. That's what Dan said. Those 10 mil look darn good. Oh, wait, I think I said that. True, agree, 15s. I gave it for these, but I dilute the wash. Oh, you dilute the wash. Otherwise, it's too dark for 15. Oh, I see. I can't paint over black primer. It's too hard for me to see. Dan, I think I might be with you on that. I used to prime black. No, I prime in the prominent color of the finish. No, okay, now there's another thing. I prime these all gray because I wanted to try. I'd never brushed primed before, and it was really cool. But I got to tell you, with all these paints now that they have, these primers that are the base colors, I agree. Curtis, I agree, 100%. Bam. I prime in the prominent color of the finished model, like olive drab, green gray for Germans, base coat, wash, and then some highlights. All right, dude, that's paint over the black undercoat. I don't leave any of it showing. The washes create the depth now. Okay, the pants are English uniform. Thank you. Beautiful stuff in there. Yeah, that book is amazing. Oh yeah, Dan, I think you can use this book for any scale, honestly. 6 mils, it would work too, because you just buy the paints, undercoat those bad boys white. Maybe dilute them, maybe. No, I paint over black because if you drop the model and chip the paint, oh, nice. Don't overthink it, Todd. Don't overthink it, Curtis. That's what I do. That's my middle name, Todd Overthink Reed. It actually is. That's not actually, but I do overthink a lot of things and a lot of things in my life. Thanks for bringing that out, Curtis. Appreciate it. Now I got to talk to my counselor, which I need to find. Todd, make a decision, stick with it. You can always adjust later. It seems rebasing is a part of our hobby. Curtis, but the plotting and planning is half the fun. Okay, guys, there's this guy. I can't remember what you said. Plotting and planning is half the fun. There's a guy who, oh my gosh, what was it? Chain of Command, Tabletop CP. I think was the group he belonged to. So it could be Chain of Command. Oh no, he's playing Arc of Fire. Guys, he builds incredible tables. Probably in 28 or 20. Just super detailed. He was featured in War Games Illustrated. He said it took him 6 to 8 months of, gosh, did he say 4 hours a day or something? I mean, it was a lot. And you could tell. It was amazing. Hey, Paul, thanks. See you later, man. Thanks a lot for your insight, your chatting, who you are, man. They already have them in 3D. What? I mean, some bunkers, it's hard to find. Okay, I guess maybe so. They're a little harder to find around here, the bunkers and stuff. I'll have to check into that. Thanks a lot, Paul, for being on. And then Dan, again, you're complimenting. Your tables look fine, Todd. When you commit to a scale, you'll be able to make them. Yes, you're right. Just paint rice. 2 mil. Just paint rice. Yes. I can say I have never rebased anything. It might be because I don't get to play that much. That's possible. I'm a rebasing veteran. Paul, I'll send you my stuff. That's funny. So plotting and planning. Anyway, this guy, he makes these incredible tables, featured in War Games Illustrated. He will build them 8 months, 4 hours a day. When he's done playing the game, sells it all for like half the price. And then he'll turn around and start over. And, someone was like, are you crazy? Why do you do that? I totally get it. I'm not going to do that because I have a very limited budget. I mean, he sold like one of the sets for like $2,000. So that means he spent $4,000 on it. Now I spend money on this thing, but I do have a limited budget and I don't want to do that. Maybe I'm a little too hoardish, but I love it because guess what? This is all temporary stuff anyway, right? Like I had a flood that damaged some of my stuff one time. I've seen Mal on the Blitzkrieg Commander Group. This guy, oh my gosh, guys, he had so much stuff. And he had a fire and he lost almost all of it. 100% of 40 years of modeling gone. Fortunately, the guys on the Blitzkrieg Commander Group and some of the other groups he's a part of pitched in. People painted models for him. It was amazing. Amazing. Painted models for him, sent him models, sent him buildings to paint, or they sent him painted. Brought a tear to my eye. Loved it. I mean, you know what's so cool about that is when he plays with those models. Now, he's obviously a painter and a model, and he likes doing it himself. But he'll play with that. He'll play with that tank he got, and he'll think, Joe sent that to me. And that's awesome. And that's so giving in the community. That's incredible. Anyway, I get it, this guy doing that, because as you said, Dan, plotting and planning, acquiring, purchasing, doing this endless research is half the fun. Paul, special order section on the website only. I'll check that out. Thank you, sir. Another reason for me to spend money. Anyway, yeah, Mal, he didn't lose everything, but he lost pretty much almost everything. Yeah, it was incredible. If you just check the timelines in the Blitzkrieg Commander Group or Mal's old Geimer War Game Group, whatever he's called it, it's a few months back. I was overwhelmed. His terrain is made. He does all the styrofoam terrain, right, where he shaves it and molds it and all that. It had like bubbled up, looked like lava. It was flowing out of the thing. It looked quite natural, actually. And I think he had a heater. He had a shed and he had a heater, and I think he thought it stayed on and it just burned it down. Don't get a heater in your little space. Space heaters, man, they scare me anyway. But then he had all that paint in there and all that. Oh god, and he's been doing it for 40 years, so I guarantee he had some bad stuff for you, lead and some other stuff. Anywho, but the guy that does the temporary thing, like he builds it and sells it, I get it. if you could do it and you enjoy that part of it, see, it's the modeling part I don't like, so I wouldn't want to do that all the time. But what I do need to do, and I got this from Matt, Rocky's War Room, I need to, that's why I need to do this like 30 minutes a day, if I can, at least four days a week. Because you kind of, if you stay on it, you can do it faster. Like, I just got faster putting the texture on that, like, just tonight. So that alone was awesome. So if you just, I need to do that. I went through a period where I acquired and then I didn't paint for years. And you essentially had to start over. I had to get rid of my paints and all this stuff. So, so I definitely need to, and I like what Mark Landymore says, do a little bit of terrain and a little bit of model. So really I should do a little bit of terrain. I'm not going to tonight, but anyway, do a little bit of that. I probably need to go off here, guys. I have to work tomorrow. It's midnight almost. I can't thank you enough for what you guys have done. Dan, that's funny. Yeah, well, right. That's what you and the cool thing about painting 30 minutes a day or whatever time. I won't get 4 or 5 hours, but I think we have a little different life that we have there, Curtis. But if you do 30 minutes a day, this will all be painted, right? In no time. But I normally want to just sit down and get it done. Well, you can't do that. Get that done. Now the texture is done on that. Tomorrow or another day, I'll get to do the pants and maybe do the skin tomorrow, because the skin's not much on the tins. So just finish them off, right? And just take your time, use the paint by numbers, whatever. Let me see, what else you guys said? So the contrast paints are tempting. Going to be looking into them. Main thing is commit to 36 minutes a day. Yep. It is hard to do 30 minutes a day, honestly, because you sit down just doing it, and then you kind of hate to stop. Now this is an exception. If you're chatting, it's a little different, but it's probably more like 60, honestly, but I say 30. It'll keep me. If I say 60, I'll do an hour and a half. What were we talking about? Contrast paints. Okay, well, this is live, and so yeah. There are guys who don't like them and like them, and Chris Long has been showing really good. He's going to do some 15s. I don't know what units, but he's going to do 15s with contrast paints. That'll be very interesting to see. I like what he's doing with the Civil War stuff, and Chris Arnold, or not Jay, has been doing contrast. I'm telling you what, I think it looks good. I got a guy at work that's going to try, and I'm telling him, get a couple contrast paints and try it. Just see it, because I like the way they're turning out. I don't know. I'm probably not going to buy them because I just bought those. But I don't know. They're not as bad. So, but I can also see why, if you don't like them, you don't like them, right? I mean, that's fine. And so, all right, guys, let's see. Let me go check the chats. It's another tool in the toolbox. Yes, I agree. Yes, I'm going to commit to time. I think I've got all your comments. All right, guys. Anything else? Any final words? Looks good. You're right. That's right. Well, gosh, if I stay on here for 45 seconds, we'll go for a complete 2 hours. So long, we'll do that. So anyway, everybody, thanks a lot. Had some really good chatting with Dan, Paul, Curtis, Dash Valon. Did Al Red Sox fan, did I get on? OG, Original Grognard, Devin got on, Gun Barrel got on. Lots of good channels represented here. Yeah, at least they look good. Yeah, no, this has been awesome, guys. Good chat. I got 20, 19, 18 seconds. I want to try to finish it right on time. I probably won't. It's been awesome. Thanks. Check out all these guys' channels. Look at the live chat stream. Because when you see this post, I can't imagine someone watching this post, but it's on there. It's part of the channel. We'll see you guys. Thanks for chat. Take care. See you all later. Bye.